Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 was finally released after a 6-month wait, and I was so happy to finally get my hands on this game. I didn't get to play it until around Christmas time because I hadn't actually got a VR headset until then, but for me this game is one of the most anticipated titles in the entire franchise, because for me I feel like Fnaf was born to be a VR game, and my god, did still will deliver on this game, and I have so much to talk about. If you do enjoy Fnaf Help Wanted 2, let me know in the comments below what your favourite minigame is and your favourite character was and what you thought of it. I really enjoyed this game, but let's get straight into my analysis of Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2. So the first thing I want to get started with is obvious. It's the gameplay. This gameplay is so smooth, and it ran with very little bugs. However, I did experience some bugs when I played this game. However, on release, this game was super smooth. The graphics are absolutely top notch, by the way. Like the way Funtime Freddy looks, it specifically because you get up so close to him, is so impressive. The animatronics look so realistic. They genuinely look like they're right outside. Like with FNAF Help Wanted 1, yes, the graphics were really good. However, there's something about FNAF Help Wanted 2 with the graphics that just looks a little bit more, you know, supernatural, if that makes any sense. I don't really get it, but the graphics just look so much more enhanced. Obviously, it's probably because there's a lot more resources nowadays than there was back then when, you know, Help Wanted 1 was made. But for me, FNAF Help Wanted 2 looks amazing, feels amazing when you're actually in there. The experience is super fresh and super smooth. The ambience is on point. Like genuinely, when you actually find out that you have to take off the mask when you are actually, you know, completing some of the mini games to eventually get the wrench that opens the thing from Ruin, and then obviously you see Princess Quest. Now when you take off this mask and you're eventually transported into, you know, the Pizzaplex, like underground, the pizza sim area, it's so ambience filled. Obviously that's the hard mode of this game, but for me the way this ambience looks is so cool. It feels weird, it feels ominous, it honestly feels like you shouldn't be there, and that's exactly why I love it so much.
I was wearing the Vanny mask the whole time.
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm in the Pizzaplex underneath it.
Now, I did explain that I had some bug issues with this game, and that's specifically to do with the Carney minigames, with the, I think it's like the shooter ones with FNAF 1, FNAF 2, and FNAF 3. So basically, the reasons I had some issues with this game is because of the balls, funny fact. So basically, in this minigame, you have to shoot lasers, you know, shoot some dart gun, and also throw some like ping pong type balls at targets. Now for me, the tracking for the throwing of the balls is really poor. I've had a lot of issues with, where basically I would throw it and it would just kind of drop from my hand and hit the floor. That's some issues I've had, and it's not as if I'm like holding the button and like, you know, it's not on my part. I'm genuinely throwing them, because in my clips you can see I'm throwing one perfectly and then the next one I pick up will just drop to the floor. So some issues I had with that. Other than that, the entire game was pretty much bug free. Now let's get on to the fun part, the mini games. Now personally, I had a few fan favorites from this. Honestly, for me, the most fun I had was the Music Man, DJ Music Man minigame, was with the one where you have to kind of match up the synth waves and stuff. I had a lot of fun with that game. It was really simple, because you kind of just, how I memorized it was like colors basically, and also like the hard mode is not hard at all. It's just an extra round, I think, and you have obviously the little DJ Music Man. But for me, this was such a fun mini game. The colors is awesome. It's really cool, and for me it was one of my favorites for definite. However, this game does show how stressful a fast food worker's job could be when it comes to the making of the food gameplay. It's actually really stressful when you have to kind of chuck everything onto the tray and make sure everything is, you know, up to standard basically. It is quite stressful at times, especially with the arts and crafts with Moon as well. This game, honestly, it does push your stress levels a lot, because you have to do a lot of things in quick succession. I feel like the hard mode for the arts and crafts in the loft with Eclipse is a super good mini game. However, again, with bugginess, I had a lot of issues with Moon or Eclipse, whatever one you want to call him. I was flashing him with the flashlight to where he kind of just looks at my flashlight and ignores it, when the whole mechanic is you flash the flashlight at him and he'll go away. So there was some issues with that minigame. However, the rest of them are super cool. Like the likes of Carousel, a new one, is by far Oh my god, it's so good. It's super easy in my opinion once you get the hang of it, but my god, it's really, really ambience made. You know, Moon is a creepy character as is, and I feel like the fact you're in the dark with him, as you know, you hear his creepy voice lines, it's super, super cool. And for me, the carousel one fit the character of Moon very, very nicely. However, I did find some minigames, you know, not that fun, I'll be honest. I think there's two in specifics. One of them is the Roxy minigame, where you have to basically keep looking at her. I find, especially in the hard mode of this gameplay, it's really, really buggy, because sometimes she'll just go really aggressive with looking at her, and then when you have to use the walkie-talkie to calm her down, sometimes it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why, but for me, I found that minigame super, super annoying and kind of tedious after a while. Wait, what? And also, the endo matching places minigame, oh my god, that is beyond annoying. I'll be honest, I absolutely despise that minigame, just purely on the fact that it's just kind of annoying. The endos coming towards you as well is super annoying, but ultimately that's how FNAF is. Sometimes you have some really easy moments and you have some really difficult moments. That's what kind of balances it out. Now, another thing we have with this game, we have 3 new characters. 2 is a little bit, you know, they're kind of cool, I guess, but there is one 100% new character, and that's Carney, basically a Lefty clone, pretty much. I remember when Carney was first shown, it was described as righty, because he looks very similar to Lefty. However, when you complete the first minigame with him, you get Carney, and it's really, really cool. It's a cool animatronic. I hope we get some merch with him, because he honestly is super, super cool. I love his voice as well. We also have Jacko Moon, which was an interesting one. It's kind of just, you know, a reskin of Moon, but you know, Jacko Moon. And obviously the most predominant one, and that's Mystic Hippo, who is a PSVR 2 exclusive, basically just to practice what the eye tracking is in the PSVR 2. Like, I don't think Mystic Hippo has any like really cool abilities towards the lore or anything, but you know what, the characters there, they're kind of cool, I guess, but, you know, they're just there. However, there's one section of this game that deserved its own, you know, chapter in this video, and that's the Sister Location game modes. Honestly, I was so chuffed to see Sister Location getting some love for, you know, in VR experience, because these games are really underrated. I feel like Sister Location is one of the most underrated ones. However, I did have a worse experience on stream the other day, where it took me an hour and a half to beat Night 4. Cheers. But for me, I feel like these game modes are the scariest in the entire game. These games are absolutely horrifying. You can see my reaction to playing against Funtime Freddy.
I see you. I'm still trying to get the hang about it. Oh, he doesn't bite, does he, Josh? I'm pretty sure that shit over there bites. Oh, Jesus Christ! No. This is not fun.
I've never screamed so much playing a VR game than I have than that game mode. So much so my mum actually had to come upstairs and tell me to be quiet and stop screaming. That's how badly that actually scared me. So, you know what? If it scared me that badly, I think it probably will scare a lot of people that badly. But the games are stressful. They're awesome. The fact you have Biddy Bab like scuttering towards you in the vent, and you have to make sure there's no mini arenas covering that vent button, or else you're pretty much dead. You also have Bon Bon in a slapstick way being thrown down the vent at you. That's awesome. It's really cool. It's really funny. Yes, it can be annoying if it kills you, but it's still funny seeing other people get killed by it. I think it's hilarious. And also when you're crawling through Ballora Gallery, when you have like the mini arenas coming towards you and you can just pick them up and throw them away, I find that it's so hilarious, and it gives a little bit of light towards the game. I find these games actually very scary. Like, I find these game modes absolutely terrifying. I feel like they're super, super terrifying. Their ambience is insane. They're stressful, they're fun, they're scary, they're absolutely terrifying in every single way, but that's what makes them so much fun. However, I did have some negatives with this game, and that is the fact that it suffers the security breach treatment. This game, other than Sister Location, the whole rest of the game is not scary. This game isn't scary. It is not scary. It is very, very kid-friendly. It's very, actually, if you're not a FNAF fan, it's very friendly towards you. If you don't like VR horror games, this game is perfect for you, genuinely. Other than Sister Location, you won't have an issue. I don't even think Carousel is that scary. Yes, when you first play it, it could be a little bit scary getting thrown in, but for me, Sister Location is the only thing that keeps this game somewhat slightly scary compared to the rest, but the actual other game modes weigh sister location so down, you actually get more terrified playing sister location, in my opinion. Because for me, when you actually play the rest of the minigames, you don't get scared enough to when you play sister location minigames, it's super terrifying. It's almost like the fact that sister location was put in this game for the real FNAF fans, or the OG FNAF fans, you know, might actually not get scared that much. However, you know, look at me, I absolutely pooed myself. But the best comparison I can use with the comparisons with games and how scary this actually is the Chica minigames. Basically, when you play hard mode in, I think it's the theater, I can't remember what the actual full name is, but it's something theater, I think it's called Fazbear Theater, you can see that it's really dark, there's endos coming towards you, and all you can hear is when you look down is the endos moving. That's super creepy, super dark, super ambient filled, and it's very scary. However, when you go into the easy mode and you're just in the Pizzaplex, it's not scary. Like, you can see the lights, you can see the cameras, you can see the flashers, all sort of this thing, and it's just not scary. It's just stressful, I guess, but it's just nowhere near scary enough. And, you know, there's just, in my opinion, there's not enough scary game modes in this game. I feel like, yes, you could look at sister location and go, okay, they're scary. Is the rest of it really scary? No. Like, not even the Helpy minigames are scary, you know? You kind of just... Helpy minigames, yes, you're in Pizza Sim. However, it's just kind of funny because you're sawing off Helpy's limbs. Like, it's funny. But then it just gets to a stage where you're telling him to shut up and he doesn't, and you get jump scared. You're like, oh no, we'll just do that again. It's not that scary at all. And another thing I have a problem with this game is the story. I honestly found this story to be really anticlimactic. However, I have a theory. I feel like Help Wanted 2 was meant to come out before Ruin, especially with the ending of this game. Like, when you look at the ending and all we've been doing to this entire game is the fact that we're just ending up as Maskbot that gives Cassie the Vanny mask. Like, for me, I feel like that ending would have been so much more impactful if it had came out before Ruin. It would have been a nice teaser to go towards Ruin. Like, oh my god, who is this character? Is this the girl we're going to be playing as in Ruin? Oh my god, that's so cool. However, I just feel like there's probably some bugs with Help Wanted 2. You know, in Steel Wolf fashion, they probably just delayed it, and they probably had them, you know, maybe they just had Ruin in Help Wanted's release date and vice versa with Help Wanted in Ruin's. And then there was some bugs, so they just decided, you know what, just release that one first. However, like, they're still both good games in their own right. But for me, when it comes to Help Wanted 2, I just enjoy the gameplay. I don't enjoy the story. I haven't really enjoyed the story as a FNAF fan since Security Breach came out. I'm not really that interested in, you know, what might go forward with this game. I mean, I hope it goes well. I hope the Mimic doesn't show up again, because I really don't like the Mimic, I'll be honest. The only reason I don't like the Mimic is because they said that the Mimic wouldn't be canon. Well, that aged well. But regardless of what happened in the story, I love this game as a game. The gameplay is awesome, the characters are awesome, the mini games are awesome. It's not that scary, but Sister Location's scary, so that holds up fine. I really enjoyed this game. Comparing it to Help Wanted 1, it's a difficult choice. For me, the only reason I kind of prefer Help Wanted 1 is because I'm very nostalgia based when it comes to FNAF. I really just enjoy the old games, I'll be real. That might be the only reason putting Help Wanted a little bit higher than Help Wanted 2 is because I'm very much nostalgia filled whenever I play this game. But for me, I love them both equally. They're awesome games. They really, really are. If you haven't played FNAF VR, I would highly recommend it. I know a lot of people can't play it due to it only being on, you know, Steam VR and then PS VR. It's not exactly on MetaQuest until like February or something, I don't know. But if you did enjoy this video, thank you so much for tuning in, and I really do appreciate it if you sat through this whole video. Let me know in the comments below what you personally thought of Help Wanted 2. What was your favorite minigame? What was your favorite character that showed up? And honestly, did you have fun? What did you think of it? I'm really intrigued to see what people think, because I honestly haven't watched any reviews on it. I just went in blind. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I'm really intrigued to see how you guys thought of it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have an amazing day, stay safe, and peace. First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, you know, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.